Greetings, this is Doc Ock coming at you live and direct from Black Facts Headquarters Central. Doc Ock in the noon time. That's right, this is Doc Ock at noon and 9 coming at you live and direct again from Black Facts Headquarters Central with another day, another story. Let's go ahead and get started by, first of all, making sure, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the Tubular Black Facts channel. Moving right along, we're going to go right into our words of wisdom for the day, straight from the island of Jamaica. Chicken Mary hawk der near. Chicken Mary hawk der near. Now that one is a tough one to kind of grasp, because it sounds like the chickens are having a great time and the hawk is right there in their midst. What it really means is the hawk may be in your midst, but you may not know it. So always stay on your guard. Or like, what's his name? Wild Bill Hickok used to do. Never sit with your back to a door. Always sit with your back to the wall. Now think about that one for a while. Let's see if that doesn't make sense. All right. Let's see. Got another one over here. Oh, here goes one here. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Poem for the day, coming out of the book Shushu Moko Jumbi. Be surprised how much wisdom is in this little book. It has shocked me, as a matter of fact. So this one is a love poem, apparently, and it's simply entitled Love Nest. I saw your body lying there, a brown sugar-coated plum on purple sheets, distanced by the opium of sleep. Your hair looks so frazzled, dear. I thought you had a nightmare about me. Maybe? On the table next to you is a bottle of 7-Up, accompanied by an empty cup. You must have sipped yourself into slumber, hoping I would come on time to dine upon your face. Talking quietly, almost whispering, like two cooing birds nestling on a branch at twilight, so light the words of love are. Silk, satin, cotton, stepping softly from cherried lips, a daily thing, a blessing. Sorry to see you lying there alone, but I'm home now, undressing to the rhythm of your warm body, calling me home to your side. I'll hide between your arms and legs and lap the nectar of your loveliness. And there we have it, a love nest for two lovebirds, apparently. All right, and that should segue us really well right on into the story, the fences between the story of Norma Marceray, a young black woman in the living in the 20s in Northeast Ohio, and a graduate now of Kent State University. So let's just see what lies in store for Norma Marceray after her matriculation from Kent State University. What lies in wait? Because she does have a date, and I dare to say it was a date with destiny. So let's see just where her destiny takes her. All right, and here we go. Norma Marceray, Chapter 7, the most educated cook in town. There we go. There we go. The most educated cook in town. Yeah, she ain't no Beulah. All right, let's see. Here we go. I continued to work as a cook during the holiday season, which followed my catastrophic Thanksgiving dinner. I was restless and uneasy when I spent my evenings and Sundays at home, Mom confused me. We did not seem to know how to converse. My sisters and brothers would give me a polite, "Hi, Norm," and keep it moving, and then disappear to study, to do their chores, or to go to a movie, or do anything that wasn't around me. I knew how Mom felt when her world fell apart. Why couldn't she try to understand me? Did Mom ever stop to consider what was going on in my mind? Did she ever? Okay. I cared for her, revealed her, but did she know how much I cared for her or revealed her? It seemed likely that was not the case. How long did she expect me to remain living halfway between her world and my temporary world of domestic service? How long must I remain in this world, this limbo, this zombie-like existence? For 3 years, from September 19 and 26 through December 19 and 29, most of my time had been spent in the kitchen and servants' quarters in a variety of upper-class homes. I wanted a lifestyle far different from the role my aunt had played, being Santa Claus and the good fairy to nieces and nephews. I did not even want Mom's world of motherhood. I wanted a career. That's right. I had aspirations. I had a destination, somewhere I was trying to go, somewhere I was trying to be. Don't you see? I needed to be something other than what my mother wanted me to be. Don't you see? Don't you see? Being referred to as the most educated cook in town provoked me. I quit a job in early January 1930 when I was asked to take a 50% cut in salary because of the depression. After a silent treatment at home, I quickly took another job as cook for the Weir family. It was a daytime job from 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. with Thursday afternoons and Sundays off. The Weirs had 5 children. From ages 3 to 13. To begin the day, preparing breakfast became a scene comparable to a brood of chickens scratching and pecking to eat from one henhouse dispenser. Sounds like a war going on up in there. Surprise, surprise. That's something there that opened my eyes. I was as pecked over as if I had been in the middle of the dispenser. Even though Mrs. Weir planned the breakfast menu, each child exercised his own veto power to demand something else. If a hot cereal was on the menu, one child wanted farina with dates. Another one wanted cream of wheat with raisins. And still another wanted a dry cereal or no cereal at all. Preparing eggs resulted in a messy assemblage of yellow and white glutinous consistencies that ended up in the kitchen sink before being scooped up and tossed into the garbage can. Soft-boiled eggs, sunny side up, scrambled. They might not have heard of eggs Benedict or an omelet. No 2 children wanted their eggs cooked the same way. They seemed to take delight in their whimsical specifications as they pushed their eggs aside. Somewhere from the midst of yelling and squabbling, unruly children, a voice would complain, "You don't know how to cook anyway. You never do what you're told." Ooh, that hurt. Pancakes and waffles fared somewhat better, but there was always spilled milk. spilled sticky syrup and untouched food. I was a strange kind of toy to be bounced around by unrestrained children. Their father rushed out the door at 7:30 a.m. on his way to the Timken company. And their mother returned to bed after swallowing a cup of coffee. The children were deposited at the breakfast table in my care. The noon meal was less chaotic because Mrs. Weir was there. The evening meal was controlled by Mr. Weir's authoritative, in control demeanor. There were evenings when I salvaged for my brothers and sisters at home half gallons of milk, oranges that were not juicy enough, and dry cereal that was being discarded because it had been on the cupboard shelf for 2 weeks. Come on now. I was paid a good salary at the Weirs, but the food that was thrown away was a caution. That more than doubled my weekly earnings. The Weirs had not yet been hit by the Depression. One morning, the 9-year-old lad yelled at me accusingly, "You should know better than to put raisins in my oatmeal. Don't you remember what I told you the last time? Raisins remind me of flies." He walked to the kitchen sink and emptied his whole bowl in the sink. "No, my dear young man, I do not remember, but you remember this. Those were real flies. They were dead, but once in your stomach, they all come alive again. Now run upstairs and tell your mother I just quit." Yeah, run and tell that. I had enjoyed catering for special occasions when the hostess sat down with me, planned the menu, discussed portions, decorations, color schemes, place settings, and then left me like a professional to carry on. From the Weir experience, I developed a strong aversion to working for families with children. And looking for my next job, I began to consider only those homes with 1 or 2 high school aged children. I was even prepared to issue an ultimatum about breakfast preparation when I heard about an office job that paid $10 a week. Clay E. Hunter, a young Negro attorney, was opening his law office on 3rd Street Southeast, a short distance from Market Avenue and across from the McKinley Hotel. His ground floor office was just a block away from the corner of Walnut Avenue and 3rd Street, where my father had operated a billiard parlor from 1906 to 1909. My pop's goal was to be an attorney someday. Attorney Hunter employed me as a receptionist. I was to answer the phone and schedule appointments. I could not have been a typist even if my employer had had a typewriter. In his minuscule 2-room complex, I did not know how to type. The receptionist's office was a far cry from a cook's kitchen. A large display window, the width of the room, gave full view to the outdoors. It was not in my job description, but because the days were not hectic with an abundance of customers, I dusted the furniture, washed the windows on the inside, and kept clean and sanitary the small single commode washroom. I was thrilled with this job. I was treated with respect by those who phoned for an appointment and the clients who came for consultation. Listening to intelligent exchanges of information was invigorating. I was fascinated by this purposeful environment. Even the people moving about on the streets outside had direction and purpose. I read newspapers, magazines, and glanced through the law books, similar to those I had observed my father pore over so studiously. An office like this was what my father wanted. The shingle outside could have read Attorney Norman S. Snipes instead of Attorney Clay E. Hunter, or both. They could have been partners. Working in an office required clothing in no way comparable to a cook's uniform or the 1 or 2 plain dresses in my wardrobe. I needed business clothing badly. Working for an attorney was most prestigious. The nearest job approximating contact with the public was that of a downtown elevator operator. Her salary was only $10 a week. Attorney Hunter assured me he would like to pay me more, but he was just starting his practice. I wondered what the elevator girls contributed toward their room and board at home. They came from small families. Their fathers had not deserted their mothers, and they had no younger siblings at home with myriad needs. If I plan to remain on this job, I ought to learn to type, I reasoned. How could I afford to go to night school, buy nice dresses, and pay room and board at home? As much as I enjoyed this charged atmosphere of legal decisions and personal involvements, I realized I might not be able to remain. I would have to look for a more lucrative job. In the meantime, this work setting provided an excellent opportunity for inquiring about other job opportunities. Within a short time, by skipping several lunch breaks, I had contacted City Hall, the county commissioners, and the post office civil service department. I left resumes and job applications with Mayor C.C. Curtis, Louis Alcacer, the postmaster, and the Stark County commissioners. My downtown excursions as a preteen handling business transactions for Mom put me at ease in the newest adventures. Although I was received courteously, nothing was happening. I made a second appearance to the city rec office to inquire about a playground supervisor's job. Did they still have my application from last year, or did I have to submit a new one for this summer of 1930? The shock of that revealing interview angered me and turned my world upside down. I'm so sorry, the director began in answer to my question about my application status. We cannot hire two people from the same family. We hired your sister Ethel last summer when you did not respond to our letter of your appointment. You were attending Kent Normal School last summer, is that right? Yes, I was. I decided to remain during the summer session to graduate in August, I explained. We phoned your home and spoke to your mother recently. In fact, it was just a few days ago. I can look up the date if you wish. She told us you were already employed. So we have hired your sister Ethel for the second summer, I was told. Could you answer one question I asked? Surely, I heard. Is the salary the same as you quoted to me last year? Yes, it is, I was informed. It pays $60 a month. Thank you. Thank you very much. I left the office. Okay, and I wasn't supposed to read that far, but I got caught up in it. So I'm going to stop right there, and we'll pick up from there tomorrow. Yeah, I got a feeling she's got something to say to her sister about that $60 a month that she's making and no contribution to the mama. Yeah, I got a feeling that's what's coming up next. But that's pure speculation. I know not what comes next. I am just guessing based on her reaction to this news that her sister got hired to work this gig. Meanwhile, you know who I am, Doc Ock at noon and 9. You know where to find me. You know when to find me. I hope I don't have to remind you to go ahead and subscribe to the Tubular Black Facts channel and look for us tonight. We'll be reading from the selected works of Miss Luce. We'll be reading some of her poetry, but we'll also be starting a new story. We got another story to read tonight. And yes, it is kind of a scary story. What would you do if the first letter in your name disappeared and you disappeared with it? What would you do? Scary story. Be black here tonight at 9 o'clock for our scary stories. In the meanwhile, peace out without a doubt. And let me just give a shout out to Baba Africa. We see you over there, my brother. Just give you a wave over there. And in the meanwhile, we're headed to our extra. Peace with justice, because anything else disgusts us.